What's up, everybody? It's your boy Melvin for another review, and today I'll be talking about thoughts on the other DC anime film, Batman Gotham by Gaslight. Released back in January 12th of 2018, and this is like the one people thinking, Batman versus Jack the Ripper. Yeah, this is like the interesting one, how the world's greatest detective fighting against the mysterious murderer of Victorian London. And this game is going to be pretty cool. So yeah, before we begin, did you subscribe? Did you hit the bell? If so, take yourself back to Victorian London. It's the 1880s. You hear a scream and whistles blowing. The murderer strikes again. Jack's on the loose. Who you think is Jack the Ripper? Let's find out, shall we? So yeah, Batman Gotham by Gaslight was the 30th film of the DC Universe animated original films. It was directed by Sam Liu and written by James Krieg. Loosely based on the standalone graphic novel of the same name by Brian Augustin and Mike Mignola. The film has world premiere screening at Newseum in Washington, D.C. during the DC event in January 12th of that year. And it had a digital download on January 23rd of 2018 before coming out on DVD and Blu-ray on February 6th. Gotham by Gaslight was the last film Benjamin Melniker's lifetime, a longtime DC film producer who died a month later at the age of 104. Jesus fuck. 104, and he's been a long-time DC film producer. Shit. This guy had to be a legend in the DC world. I tell you what. Yep, it says here he's been executive producer with Michael E. Uslan on the Batman film series and other DC comic films. He's also a one-time studio executive at MGM. Rest in peace, sir. You earned that rest. Whew. As you know, this takes place in the Victorian area in Gotham City instead of London. It's in Gotham City. Or something like London. And oh boy, the influence... Sorry. Same. Producer Rose Tim has pointed to the 1944 film The Lodger and Eric Larson's book The Devil in the White City as an influence of the film. He also cited a dream sequence in a particular episode of the 1960s television show Gilligan's Island, in which the character of the show took on a well-known role from Victorian-era British fiction. There was a Victorian one where the professor was Sherlock Holmes, and Skipper was Dr. Watson, and Mary Ann was Eliza Doolittle, and Gilligan himself as Jekyll and Hyde. Wow, you gave Gilligan the role of the famed scientist with a double personality. So this is kind of the same kind of era idea. Sorry. All the same, you take those characters that you know and put them in a different spot in this different world and see what happens. That's a lot of fun. It's a glimpse into the Victorian Gotham. They expanded that and put as many Batman stock players in a roles you recognize. You know, who's going to be Lestrade, who's going to be Watson, and who's going to be Irene Adler. Adler. Writer Jim Krieg spoke of the influence of the Sherlock Holmes stories, both as written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, as written by others. I grew up as a Holmes fan, and my dad read it to me. I read it to my kids, but I didn't want to get any of it wrong. I didn't want to leave any Sherlockian stone unturned. I made the Baker Street irregulars into Robins. I tried to do as much as I could. There's actually a considerable amount of British literature that are about Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. There are about 15 books. I may maybe read five of them. He noted that the 1965 film, A Steady in Terror, as a favorite of his. Tim, Krieg, and director Sam Liu had discussed including the Sherlock Holmes character in the film adaptation, but eventually opted to pay homage to that character with reference to aspects of the Holmes canon. Damn. That's quite interesting. As you know, it's already directed by Sam Liu, screenplay by Jim Krieg, is based on the graphic novel of the same name by Brian Augustine and Mike Mignola. It was also produced by the director himself. It was edited by Christopher D. Lozinski, music by Frederick Weidman. It was produced by Warner Bros. Animation, DC Entertainment, and the Answer Studio, aka Answer Service, and with a running time of 70 minutes. And we have the vocal cast. We have Bruce Greenwood as Batman and Bruce Wayne. He did notable roles. He also played the role of American President John F. Kennedy in 13 Days, for which he won a Satellite Award for Best Supporting Actor. He also, in motion picture, he also played the role of Captain Christopher Pike in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek, the Abrams Star Trek version, the first two films, as the famed the original captain of the Enterprise, Captain Pike. From the films. We also have Jennifer Carpenter as Selina Kyle. Oh boy. Let's see. She's known for her role as Deborah Morgan in the Showtime series Dexter, which she earned a Saturn Award in 2009. Okay. We have Anthony Heads as Alfred Pennyworth, Bruce's loyal butler and friend, which of course, always by the Englishman, of course. Sorry. We have Chris Cox as Father Callahan. We have John DiMaggio, who is very famous. He's known, if you don't know him, you must be a little bit under a rock, because he is the voice of everybody's favorite drunken, hooker-loving, robotic bastard, Bender from Futurama, and also Jake the Dog on Adventure Time, Marcus Phoenix in Gears of War series, Dr. Draken, the main villain of Kim Possible in the Disney series Kim Possible, and Hack Fu in Jackie Chan Adventures, and the Scotsman on Samurai Jack and Brother Blood as well. Oh, you know the Scotsman. Hey, Zach! I love that character. I think his daughter's more crazy. Or his wife. I think his wife's more insane. We have David Forsyth as Cyrus Gold, Grey Griffin as Sister Leslie Thumpkin, and also voicing Celia Kyle as the singing voice, and Jason Todd. If you don't know that name, she did a couple of things, but Yeah, they made Dr. Leslie Thunkum a nun here. Unfortunately, one of the victims of Jack the Ripper. What the fuck? Killer murdered the nun. We have Bob Joyles and Mayor Tolliver. Yuri Lurafol as Harvey Dent. Let's see. Oh, wait. Let me see something here. It turns out here, Robert W. Jones is notable for the voice of Man Ray in SpongeBob. Oh, okay. He's voicing a villain. Cool. Also, Yuri Lorfung, who's voice of Harvey Dent. He's a prominent role in anime as Sasuke Uchiha in Naruto, Teenage Ben 10 in Ben 10. Oh, but Teenage Ben 10, okay. And Jinosuke and Afro Samurai. Ooh, cool. We have Lincoln Melcher as Dick Grayson, Scott Patterson as James Gordon, William Slayer as Hugo Strange, Bruce Timm as Arkham Radio Man, and Carrie Hoover as Barbara Ellen Gordon, and Pamela Isley. William Slays, whose vocal performances such as the Reverend Putty in Moral Or, oh god, no. And also everybody's favorite, alright. Everybody's very annoying guy, Rigby on Regular Show, and Otto Octavius, aka Doc Ock, in the 2018 video game Spider-Man. And again, we have Tara Strong as Marlene Mahoney and Timmy Drake. As you know, she's a known voice actress, drawn video games, including her roles in the new Batman Adventures, Teen Titans, Teen Titans Go, Rugrats, Powerpuff Girls, Fairy Odd Parents, and keeps going and going and going. Oh yeah, Bruce Walter, who's an American artist, animator, writer, producer. He has contributed to building the modern DC comic anime franchise, most notably Batman the Animated Series, and subsequent DC Animated Universe, the ACU, which, salute to you, sir, for creating the most famous show of all time. But yeah, Batman by Gaslight, what is it about? Well, people takes place in the Victorian era, not London, but in Gotham City, which is quite interesting because when you look at the settings, this is pretty cool. It looks like you're actually in London, but it says Gotham City. They turned like one of the towers into Big Ben, make it more authentic, like in the UK, which of course is pretty cool. As you know, there's a murder on the loose, and his first victim is none other than Pamela Isley, an orphan turned exotic dancer and prostitute. Pity. From a supervillain to a happy hooker, who just got murdered by an infamous murderer. Pity. What else is new? But yeah. Of course, became the newest victim of a serial killer known as Jack the Ripper. Of course, you know the story. Ripper murders prostitutes and the poor women or prostitutes or destitute women. Of course, the citizens of Gotham believe Batman and Jack to be the same man. State Actress Selena Kyle berates Gotham Police Commissioner Gordon and Chief of Police Bullock for their failure to stop the Ripper murders. At the Monarch Theater, with his friend Harvey Dent, Bruce meets Selena and the two bond in an exclusive Deus Club. Which goes, Bruce realizes that not only were the two are them taken by Sister Leslie, but that some of the murder girls were orphans formerly under Leslie's care. and he realized she's the next target of Jack the Ripper. So he rushed to save her, but it was too late. At this crime scene, Bruce finds the bloody Dionysus club pin, meaning the Ripper has to be one of Gotham's wealthy. At Cecil Leslie's funeral, Bruce is met by Hugo Strange, claiming he knows the killer and wants to meet with Batman. Bruce also is met by Marlene, a drunken old woman who claims she saw him sneaking around when Sister Leslie was killed. At Arkham, Ripper attacks Strange and throws him in his own patients, who tears him apart. Holy shit. While in pursuit of the Ripper, Batman himself chased by the police, only to be saved by Selina, which, when the cops were checking each carriage, they stopped the carriage, and when they opened, they see Bruce and Selina doing the deed on the floor, which one of them is like, "Oh, sorry about that, sir." And he's like, one of them was like, "Oh, don't stop, keep going." Of course, after that, she takes her home and spends the night. After the death of Marlene discovered, Bruce is arrested at Selina's place, and then Joseph Selina's affection prosecutes him as the Ripper. Which, of course, that's kind of petty for jealousy, but yeah, this is Victorian era, so this is stupid. He sends to Blackgate Penitentiary with whole bail because he's rich. Bruce is met by Selina, who urges him to reveal he is Batman, declare his name, and helps to save the girls from Jack. When he refuses, she decides to tell Gordon herself, bribing a guard to deliver a coded message to his manor. Bruce escapes after staging a prisoner fight. Selina meets with Gordon at Gotham City's World's Fair and learns the horror. Yeah, here's the twist part. Commissioner Gordon is Jack the Ripper. While seeking Selina at Gordon's home, Batman learns this as well. Gordon injects Selina with a sleeping aid, but she manages to use her blood and the Ferris searchlight to give Batman a signal. Here's the fucked up part. When Batman arrives at Gordon's place, he marries Barbara. Yeah, it's kind of weird because remember, this is the Victorian era. Yeah, you can marry your own daughter. It's creepy and gross. It turns out he abused her. He even throws acid in half her face. Literally, he has it like a lab. It turns out he's the Ripper. It turns out because he believes, in his words, where Gordon is driven mentally insane by his time in the Civil War, reveals his holy work to rid Gotham from what he sees as human filth. The poor women, the scum, prostitutes. Does that sound like Jack the Ripper, who murdered 5 prostitutes in real life? And never find out who murdered them? Yeah. Ain't that weird? And he's starting the Civil War. That's mental as fuck as well. You see a battle like that. Of course, the first world lights on fire and struggles begin to collapse. Batman defeats Gordon, but Gordon walks into the flames to escape justice. Batman and Selina are saved by Alfred and the orphans, who are now Bruce Wayne's wards. Wow. His own crew. But yeah. As for the crew response, Julian Romano at MovieWeb gave the film a positive review, going so far as saying it ranks among the best of the DC animated universe. He says the film surpasses Batman the Killing Joke, doing a better job adapting the source material, praising screenwriter Jim Craig and director Sam Liu for their intelligent approach. He notes the R rating and acknowledges that although the film is not suitable for a younger audience and features violence and coarses language, it is not gratuitous. Well, duh. If he's going to talk about Batman vs. Jack the Ripper, of course it's going to be a rated R. No shit, Sherlock. will remain. And Bleeding Cool gave the film a 9 out of 10. Joshua Yale gave IGN gave the film 6.5 out of 10. KT Burt of Geek gave the film 2.5 out of 5, praising the voice cast and described it as an R-rated whodunit horror with a twist, and that it's not as clever as it thinks it is, but it's clever enough. On the aggression website Rotten Tomatoes, I like that they call it aggression, like Rotten Tomatoes is the evil villain. The film was given a approval rating of 75%, based on the reviews of 12 critics, with an average rating of 6.610. The sales figures, the film earned about $1.1 million from DVD sales and $3.5 million from Blu-ray sales, bringing a total of North American domestic home video earnings to $4.6 million. And to me, the style, the atmosphere, gives you that Victorian era atmosphere right there. You're walking the streets of Victorian London, or in this case, Victorian Gotham City. It's a thick, foggy night. All the gaslights light up the streets. You're hearing the clock going bong, bong. And you hear a whistle blowing. There's another murder. Jack the Ripper strikes again. And this, you can imagine, take your place in Victorian London. Jack the Ripper strikes. The whole newspaper reports on the infamous murderer. And people questioning, who is Jack the Ripper? If you don't know, damn. They've had a lot of adaptations, including a comic book by the master himself. Alan Moore wrote a comic called From Hell, which is actually the case of Jack the Ripper, which is into a massive plot twist with the Freemasons and the royal family murdering the women because her son married a prostitute. You want to make sure this doesn't get, no one finds out. He had one of her trusted doctors portray the famous murder, who is actually Jack the Ripper, which the people call him the murder of the prostitutes, except for one who managed to escape, and the one who was sleeping with her ended up being the last victim. Unlike the movie starring Johnny Depp, the graphic novel has a lot of nudity. No wonder the movie cut those things, because the book is actually thick. I like it. But yeah, back to Batman. Yeah, Batman Gotham by Gaslight is a good movie. I recommend those who like, those classic style horror movie themes, especially if it's against the most famous murderer of all time. Who haven't seen, they always want to see Batman versus Jack the Ripper. Hey, you got it? You got it. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what was your thoughts about this film. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you like the art style, the background, the character designs of each of our notable characters from the Batman universe? And let me know. And if you're new to the channel, remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and remember we are aiming at our goal of 1 million subscribers, or at least 500k, because by May of this year is our 11th anniversary from 2013 to 2023, so let's make this happen. Until then, have a great day, everybody. Peace out.